Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. If you're a crew here, I appreciate your subscribe. And give me a second right here to thank all of the content creators that's in this genre. These guys and girls scour the internet to give you 35 minutes of cool stuff. That's a direct quote from somebody in my comments. Thank you, sir or ma'am, for acknowledging that. Now, you know I love it when you hit that like button, right? Do it for the algo. That way I'll grow. Now let's watch these clips. So there's supposed to be nobody here. What is that? Yeah, back over there, to the left. To the left, to the left. It went in the door, not over there. Can she not see the thing on the camera?
After watching the video, the real estate agent was shocked to see that someone was in the house. They don't recall ever seeing anyone else inside, but apparently, based on the footage, someone was there.
Something that shouldn't be there. Ghosts be squatters too. Gone. The car just gone.
Did you make it out of?
Microwave and welder.
Alright, pick that up. Oh my god.
See, this is what makes me think in part we could have went to the moon, because I've been on construction sites. I've seen guys make things like this to just make the job easier.
They are literally everywhere. 4,300 plus videos a day.
Why don't we stop with the they're everywhere and say they've been here? I don't even think they're aliens. I think they're just beings in a different dimension that are being called aliens. Are they aliens or are they fallen angels? And then if you're an angel, I thought angels could only do what God told them to do. Did they trip? Did they commit a sin? Is that why they're fallen? Did they decide, oh, I just want to leave. I'm just going to go? Because why would you leave heaven to be here in earth? So you can rule this?
Stop the cap.
I don't ask questions like that anymore, because when I was in a church and I did, they said, Satan the Lord rebuke you.
I've been on other yachts of highly wealthy people.
Is it preposterous? I've never been.
I don't judge it, but
I do. I'll judge for you.
I was on a yacht.
Describe it to me. I'll tell you why it's stupid.
I was on Charles Simone's yacht. He's one of the Microsoft billionaires. And there's a staff there, and I like talking to people. And I said, you know, there are people cleaning. And I said, oh, so where do you live? And he said, here. I said, oh, in New York? Because it's important there. No, here. On the yacht. And I said, oh, well, when you're not on the yacht, weird. Oh, I'm from Italy, but I live on the yacht. I said, how do you get your mail? He said, well, I'll get back to Italy. I'll pick it up there, but I live on. And so the idea that you are so wealthy, you can buy people and put them in this floating place, and they call that their home. I had to wrap my head around that.
I think that's called a job. He didn't buy him. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Even your name is pretentious. Neil deGrasse. Sound like you've been smoking deGrasse. I've got 3 names. Listen to me. The fuck up, nigga.
Oh my god. Oh. Whoa. I'm videoing right now. What? Holy. That's you. We were just talking about.
My mind is like right on it.
Oh my god.
Hopefully I don't get. Look at the size of that.
Look at him.
Boat.
He could tip the boat over. Look at him.
Did you hear this, lady? He could tip the boat over. I don't play with the ocean. I don't want to date a girl who plays with the ocean. I know you like the ocean. Oh, you know what? Somebody in my comments said, yo, man, can you stop saying that white people do that? I don't fuck with these niggas. Shout out to that guy. Not all white people like to do this kind of stuff. I don't know why the media keeps hyping up these guys like all of y'all's on that. I apologize. I don't fuck with these niggas. He didn't say that, but that was his attitude. I'm sure.
Did you know that they found real-life hobbits in Indonesia?
I did not know that.
So in Lord of the Rings, Tolkien describes hobbits as being 3'6" and having pointed ears and large furry feet. And on the Indonesian island of Flores, archaeologists found the remains of a community of hominin beings that were between 2 feet and 4 feet tall, or an average of 3'6". The species is called Homo floresiensis, but they're nicknamed hobbits because of their small stature and because they lived in this cave that looks like a hobbit hole. They didn't have afternoon tea at 3 p.m., but they did make incredibly complex tools, and they hunted, foraged, and actually cooked with fire.
But did they have living accommodations that look like that? This is the thing that makes me think twice about these moon landing things. Everything looks just too pristine. Like, who's the cameraman?
But around 50 years ago, they disappeared from the fossil record, and some researchers think that modern human ancestors wiped them out. So if hobbits were real, what other fictional or mythological creatures could also be real that we just haven't found evidence of?
I honestly don't even know if I can take another species just running around at night.
I used to think that iron that's in cereal was iron.
It is.
Is it?
Yes, Joey.
Metal?
Yes, Joey.
Is it really?
Yes, Joey.
No, time out.
Yes, Joey. That's why if
We're
you
eating
cook
metal? You can't eat metal.
Yes, Joey. Yes.
What?
That's why if you cook in a cast iron skillet or something, it enriches the food in iron.
Wait, no. Yeah, iron is like iron, bro? Like pumping iron?
Yes, Joey.
No, it's not.
Yes.
I'm very confused by this.
It's okay.
Iron is iron? Iron is dead ass iron.
Yes, dude.
But is it hard normally? Like, what is it?
Joey, it's iron. It's like there's no way.
What's its form?
Iron.
Solid, liquid, gas, plasma.
Iron.
No.
Joey,
solid, liquid, gas, plasma. Those are the forms.
I hope this gets picked up by one of those
dude,
hyper Instagram scientists that are just like, let's break this down a minute. And they're
I didn't believe them, so I did my own research. And come to find out, that's actually true. I found even more uses, like cast iron is super affordable. Cast iron lasts for generations. Good talking point, nice heirloom. Great grandma cooked meals with this. Cast iron is naturally non-stick. What do you know about that? Cast iron actually does add iron to your diet.
In the middle of Manhattan rises a terrifying windowless skyscraper, capable of withstanding an atomic blast. That has made it an ideal set for conspiracy thrillers. The Long Lines building was located at 33 Thomas Street in Manhattan and was a core part of the AT&T Long Lines department, housing solid-state switching equipment that required tight...
Hold on. I'm looking at this building in the back. That shit looked like a game of Jenga in the back. What's going on? That's an actual build. This is not AI?
How was that story everywhere?
Well, because the people that were involved were very wealthy. And when wealthy people do stupid shit, we have a certain sense of glee. Like when some wealthy billionaire wants to take a rocket into space and it blows up, people will be like, ha ha. There's a part of that.
Right.
There's definitely a part of ha ha. If you are a person who gets to watch people do something that you think is really fucking stupid, like get into an unproven watercraft
with a GameCube controller
that's had people resign because of safety concerns.
Right.
That's one of those things where when people die like that, people enjoy watching it. They enjoy paying attention to it.
Weird?
It's weird.
They enjoy.
But it's also fear. It's the fear of the actual experience of being that person, because you could imagine it. You could imagine if you had been talked into it somehow. Everybody says it's totally safe.
Right.
Don't worry. And you're like, okay, let's do it. And then you're down there in the ocean, and then you hear a crack.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
but those
Jesus.
guys, they died so fast.
Supposedly.
Okay.
Yeah, what I heard is that something failed and it plummeted, and that as it was plummeting, they probably knew they were dying as it was plummeting into the ocean. And then
because the actual collapse would be,
bro, Jesus Christ,
tenths of a second. No, is what they said.
Imagine the force behind that weight.
Damn, Joe Rogan sounded like he was down there, like he saw live footage. Oh man, did I ever tell you about my theory of the Simpsons? Bart and Homer are sons of simps. Grandpa, he's a simp. He just lets women walk all over him, do whatever they want to do. He had a son, Homer. Homer's a simp. Luckily for Homer, Marge wanted him and stays with him. She's a traditional woman, but Homer, there's a lot of episodes where Homer was simping. And then Bart There's a lot of episodes where he was simping. I remember my OG said to me, geez, it had to be 2001. Even look at the Simpsons. You got simp and son. He just left it right there. I was like, okay. But now that I'm seeing where the world has come 23 years later from where it was in 2000, yes, Bart and Homer are sons of simps. She smacked him in the back of the head like, Bart, damn dude, you let your wife do that to you? Man.
Simping, what it is and how to avoid it.
3 signs your ass a simp.
There are more than 3, but let's start slow. So first of all, what is simping? That's right, it's about giving too much as a way of seeking validation. The word may have come from the word simpering, which means ingratiating timidity. So remember, too much giving as a means of earning validation. So let's look at the 3 signs.
The first thing, you treat the girl like she the best thing that ever happened in your life.
I used to think you were supposed to treat a girl like she was the best thing that ever happened to you. That's what they say in wedding vows and all that, but no! It turns out that what women want is a higher position to climb to. They'll always tell you that they want to be number 1. They'll tell you, put me here. And then you do, and they go, F you.
Well, actually, women want 2 things, comfort and security. They want security in their comfort and comfort in their security. Just so happen that comes with a higher amount of maintenance.
The second thing, you let her get everything her way. If she disagree with something, you go with it.
This works the same way, but with thoughts instead of things. You have to put what you want over what she wants. Again, if what she wants is leading the relationship, then you are very boring, and boredom justifies divorce.
Stop being a bitch. Bitch! Third thing, you too clingy. You want all her attention, nigga. You ain't got time for all this.
This one just goes back to number 1. If you are too clingy, it means that she is the number 1 thing that you want.
You ever heard of a girl being a simp?
I have. I've actually heard of the perfect relationship being described as mutual simping, but that might be a little advanced.
My next video, I'm gonna show y'all how to fix that shit. Hit that plug.
I'll show you right now. This is not your goal in life. This is your goal, or whatever it is that you're into. Seek wisdom. So don't put the girl first, because she probably will destroy you, and a lot of them think it's funny.
Why would girls think it's funny?
Shit, I don't even know. Like, I can't even tell you that. Like, you know, like, fighting, I don't know, like, never know, you know, like.
And then there's the weirdness that the jungle itself is actually man-made.
Whoa, hold on, I don't know about this.
You didn't know that?
No, tell me.
Yes, most of the plants that are overwhelming the rainforest are from agriculture. They're
from ancient civilizations.
Yeah, I think it's like the ice cream bean tree and a bunch of other different trees. But these trees were all trees that had been grown. Yes, it is actually man-made. One of thousands of earthworks built by remarkable but little-known ancient societies. The Amazon, prior to the arrival of Europeans in the Americas in 1492, is commonly depicted as a pristine wilderness dotted with small, simple communities. The supposedly pristine, untouched Amazon rainforest was actually shaped by humans. Over thousands of years, native people played a strong role in molding the ecology of this vast wilderness. So these trees that overwhelm the rainforest, they were planted.
Now here's the thing. How do we know that? Because Joe Rogan told us? Or because it just makes sense that there were ancient gardeners back then?
So this TikToker is psychic. Or she claims to be. And one night, something crazy happened. She was scrolling through her feed and she hears about an ongoing murder case of some college students, the Idaho 4. So she busts out the tarot cards and does a reading, and that's when she gets a vision. The killer in that case must be someone connected to the nearby university, the history department.
The cards just kept saying history, history, history.
So she goes to the University of Idaho History Department website and sees the first name that comes up right at the top of the page. We'll call her Professor. That's it. It must be the professor who unalived the Idaho 4.
The spirit said it was a teacher.
The spirit said, this is why I don't date. You need a man, because you got too much time on your hands. Do you like girls? You need somebody else there with you. Your partner would have said, babe, Leave that shit alone.
So she starts making TikToks talking about what she found. And she starts publicly accusing the professor of committing this brutal crime.
How she implemented it, how she planned it.
Oh, and she didn't make just 1 or 2 videos. She probably made over 100. Honestly, I couldn't even count them all. And that collection of videos got millions of views.
I mean, look under that Christmas tree. She don't got no man.
But the accusations weren't just about unaliving. She also claimed the professor was in a romantic relationship with one of the victims.
This is all stuff that she wished was happening in her life, so she wouldn't have this empty-ass tree on Christmas Eve.
And that the professor unalived the 4 college students to keep the affair from coming to light.
At this point in the relationship, Rebecca Schofield is fantasizing about
I can't mess with these tarot card hoes.
Kaylee and being with Kaylee.
Now keep in mind, the only source she cited for this are her psychic visions and her tarot cards. So the professor, who's an actual living human being, saw all this and was like, what the f***? And she sends a cease and desist to Tarot Card Lady. And Tarot Card Lady just doesn't give a damn.
I put this demand letter Rebecca Schofield attorney sent me by the tissue so I can wipe my with it.
And so the professor's basically like, all right, fine. And she sues her for defamation. And Tarot Card Lady, still not giving a shit, just continues to mock her. And then she even goes on cable news to accuse her.
When I go to court and they see the evidence or they see how I connect the dots.
And because of these videos, the police, they start looking into the professor.
Oh, there's a big surprise!
And guess what they found? Nothing.
That's an incredible. I think I'm gonna have a heart attack and die from that surprise.
There was no record of any of them taking any of her classes. The professor wasn't even in Idaho when this happened, so it was easy to clear her name. But then, right after that, boom! Police finally arrest a suspect in the case, a real suspect. And surprise, surprise, it's not the professor. And did that shut Tarot Card Lady up? No, it did not.
This is exactly why when I said I was chosen for this or I was sent for this and that God sent me on a mission to help with this case.
And as of now, the lawsuit is still going. It hasn't gotten to trial yet. But according to the court documents I read, Tarot Card Lady, and I'm not making this up, will be representing herself.
Reports that the months and weeks leading up to the Chernobyl disaster, everyone at the plant were seeing a creature, the black bird of Chernobyl, a humanoid creature, 20-foot wingspan, glowing red eyes. And what does that sound like to you?
The Mothman, right?
The Mothman. When the power plant melted down, the people in the power plant couldn't handle what was going on. So the immediate response was to call in the military and have the military help. Now, the military came in helicopters trying to see what's going on. And while these people in helicopters were coming in, they were seeing something fly through the clouds. This thing had like a great wingspan, and it was haunting.
Where's the footage of that? Stop telling me what people said they saw and show me what they saw. Or shut the fuck up. Either or. Now this I can appreciate. One person ran and everybody else was like, I gotta get out of here. Absolutely.
So there's a thing that happens with animals. We don't totally understand it, but they've done this study with foxes. What they did was anytime a fox displayed any aggression towards people, they killed it. And over a certain period of time, all the foxes that were left, their jaws had shrank, their ears were more floppy. They started like giving in to the idea of domestication, and they literally started softening their appearance. They weren't alert like a fox would be if it was like, you know, a little killer.
Yeah, they were killing their spirit. Happens when you're with the wrong person. Happens when you got the wrong job. Just kills your spirit. That's why you gotta not listen to the haters. It's hard. As much as you can, though.
I'm no conspiracy theorist, but sometimes I wonder about these. This one, that one, and that Tesla right there. All of them came into my shop with the same issue. My conspiracy, or I should say, our conspiracy, is just like the iPhone trick. New iPhone comes out, the old one starts sucking.
They do the same thing with Android. What do you think the update is? It slows your phone down. It's not an update. Like, do we really think that America can't make a car that lasts for 100 years?
I think the electric cars are doing the same thing, because it's kind of weird that they all came in at the same time for the same problem. If you have a Tesla, Let me know if you have that problem.
Yeah, put it in my comments too if you got a Tesla or you got friends who have Teslas and they said, yeah, it needs an update. No, it doesn't. It should still be lasting. I mean, you just got the thing a few years ago.
So I'm laying over at this jail, you know what I'm saying, and I hear this loudmouth kid talking crap to the CO, throwing up his set, telling him who he is in the town and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there shaking my head because as a correction officer, of course, you know, I've seen this 100 times. You know, I'm in my mind, they're about to whip his ass. So from my cell, I hear him talking smack, and then I hear them saying, okay, we're gonna fix you. So what happened was they took him and they put him in the cell. Now I can see across from where I'm at, I can see the window of the cell. And I'm letting you know, it was this huge, crazy, big ass freaking inmate that they put this kid in the cell with. Now the kid had a heart. The kid wasn't brolic, but he was kind of tall. He had some height on him. Yet he still was a young kid. And they put him in the cell, and I already knew what was gonna happen when lights went out. And it happened. You know, you hear him in there, you hear the grunting, you hear the fighting, you know, for a few and stuff like that. And I know these officers heard it. And they put him in there with this inmate purposely to teach him a lesson, knowing that this big inmate was known for being a booty bandit. And it happened. And he took that kid's manhood. And the humanity in me, I'm looking at them like they didn't have to do that. But at the same time, the kid didn't understand where you at and the repercussions of you running your mouth to these correction officers who decide where you're going to go, what you're going to do, and what's going to happen to you. And so in the morning, they came and got the kid. Of course, they took him out on a stretcher. You know what I'm saying? He was wrapped in a sheet, nothing exposed but his booty. Because I'm sitting there looking at the whole thing play out. And I'm shaking my head. And I'm looking at Duke. And Duke looking at me like, what the fuck is you want to do? I had no problems with him because I know I was just in transit. You know what I'm saying? But I was there for a few days. And then the most shocking thing came out to me. And this is why I want y'all to put your mind to the psyche of somebody who's being in there that's there for life. I heard him talking to another inmate, you know, on the jack. The jack is like with the window or under the cell or whatever the case may be. And it was rumored that was his own son. That he had just his own son. Even I, after all my years of being in prison, I was kind of devastated. And I'm wondering, dude, you're a booty bandit, you're a knockout artist, you got double life. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't worried about what nobody gonna think about. So I'm across the cell and I'm looking like the whole tears, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this dude just his own son. He started yelling and screaming. How was I supposed to know? How was I supposed to know? I fucked so many bitches out there, you know what I'm saying? I got kids all over the place. How was I supposed to know that was my son? He ain't my son, denying it. He going back and forth, fighting with himself, fighting them demons with himself, you know, trying to convince himself that it was his son, it wasn't his son, and then that he didn't care if it was his son. This is what I mean by some crazy people out there.
That's all I got for today. If you stayed for this long, I appreciate it and you gets it popping. Tune in again. We'll do it again.